Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very different episode that we are about to do today. You see, anyone who's seen this channel knows that we do videos about neurodiversity. Anyone who has seen other parts of the channel has seen we do videos on F1. And yes, we still do them. But I wanted to touch on something else. And I wanted to, it's not really a confession, but perhaps some of you guys don't know this about me. I am a Liverpool fan. Now, if any of you guys know what that means, then you will know that I was very much, very like everyone else, shaken to a certain extent by the news, by the absolute bombshell that was revealed last Friday the 26th of January, about Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool. After 10 years, he is leaving at the end of the season in May. And wow, was it a bombshell! Wow, was it an absolute bombshell! He mentioned about the exhaustion, all that sort of thing. It was a big one to take, a tough one to take. People have been questioning the timing, but in a weird way, I'm glad that we heard it now. I would have preferred to have heard it now so I could prepare for the end of the season rather than watching at the end of the season and then finally getting the news. But still, it is still a bombshell story. Now, what I wanted to do, because I've seen a lot of other people do the classics. Oh, yeah, let's look at this, let's look at that. And it's normally about what's Klopp done and who's the next manager. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to look at both of those, but I also wanted to throw in a third one as well, which is one that perhaps people might not have considered too much in detail. But I want to because why not? So this is how we're going to look at it. We are going to look at Klopp, and then we're going to look at Liverpool itself. We'll take on Liverpool second, but we're going to look at Klopp first. And the first thing I want to talk about is actually what Klopp and Liverpool have done together. Because a lot of people have mentioned that he is potentially not a legendary Premier League manager because he hasn't won that much, which statistically I'd sort of agree with you. But, and yes, there's a bit of bias that's coming my way, but that's what you want from fans. You want a little bit of like bias in a weird way. There's more to it than just what he has achieved statistically. You see, Jurgen Klopp has been more than just a manager of Liverpool team. He's been more than a manager of Liverpool Football Club. He has become an icon of English football. I don't think that's playing it too hard, actually, in what he has done. He's brought back the glory days of managers when they were all about the club and the city and all that jazz. He has been, some people have described him as a bit of a father figure of Liverpool, not just the club, but the city of Liverpool as well. And I couldn't agree more. But let's touch on the football first, and then we'll touch on the how he's been a father to the city afterwards. Because in terms of the football, absolutely incredible. Yeah, okay, he might have won one or only one league title, potentially two at the end of this year. But I'm not getting my hopes up too much. It's Man City. We'll also touch on them in a minute. But even if you count out the thing of the fact that there was two seasons where he could have won the Premier League already, so that's three Premier League titles, he has done so much more. So much more. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Without Jurgen Klopp, Pep wouldn't be at the level that he is. Think about it. It's normally your greatest rivals that push you on further. You know, when you're battling, sometimes looking over and seeing that someone's lasting a little bit longer than you makes you want to last a bit longer, right? I remember we saw it when it came to there's like a gym session thing that was going on during COVID where there were two people were going to the gym doing the Everest challenge, I think it was, and they set records literally just by having a battle between themselves. It was incredible to see that there was something like third in the country um, for doing this Everest challenge, and it was all through pushing each other. And Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have done that to each other. Now, people have said without Jurgen Klopp, the Premier League would have been a bit of a farmers' league. I think it would have been a secret farmers' league, but I don't think it would have been a farmers' league because Pep's Pep would have still won the titles, but he's been pushed to win those titles. It's taken everything out of it. It's been a very special time to see them battling each other. I'm going to miss that part of it. But again, statistically, Jurgen Klopp, a point here or there could have been a 3-time Premier League winner, a quadruple winner, all that. And that would have been special enough. But now I want to talk about the feel of the football he gave. Do you know, I remember watching Liverpool under even Brendan Rodgers, a promising coach, and it was dire. Like, we knew what we were as a club. It was like we wanted a bit of fun. I mean, that's why I became a Liverpool supporter. It was fun to watch. Didn't care about the trophies, but was it exciting? Yes, it was. And then, like the 2-3 years before Jurgen Klopp, even when Liverpool were doing okay, it was just meh, like defensive and boring, to be quite honest. And it was awful to watch. It was actually a strain to be a Liverpool fan because you couldn't really enjoy the matches. And Jurgen Klopp brought the fun back. The gegenpressing, the heavy metal football. By the way, I want to know what is heavy metal. If what his interests are in terms of that, but I suspect he might have some love of like the Scorpions or something like that. I don't know. But there's that as well. That's the football. He brought some exciting, passionate, tactical, organized chaos football. But then we want to talk about him and Liverpool. There's something about being a Liverpool manager that makes it special. Like, yes, he had a connection when it came to the Hillsborough disaster, of course. But it was more than that. He had a connection to the fans. And I suppose the best way to show just how special he was the fact that you would see him at the pubs. You would see him at the local pubs having a drink with the fans. Not in a VIP booth, with the fans. He decided to go to a pub to surprise a local musician, Jamie Webster, who was making the Liverpool chants. LA, LA, LA. The Liverpool lyrics were written by Jamie Webster. What does Jurgen Klopp do? He surprises him at a bar. Makes Jamie Webster famous, but at the same time shows that he's just all about meeting the fans, seeing the fans, engaging with the fans, gets his players to engage with the fans. Very special. And probably one moment that stands out to me of just how special and how lucky we were to have Jurgen Klopp as a coach was actually after a loss. Any Liverpool fans might remember the first Champions League loss. You know that one where we felt we were cheated. We felt that Salah had been attacked almost by the Real Madrid players. That the goalkeeper Loris Karius had been almost suffered a concussion because of the smack to the head he got. Yeah, that one when we were cheated, yeah, or it felt like we were cheated. Does anyone know what Jurgen Klopp was doing the day after or 2 days after? Arm in arm with Liverpool fans, singing a song that was basically a middle finger to Real Madrid. It was hilarious. It was enjoyable, but he was basically he was smashed basically, and that showed me Liverpool to Jurgen Klopp was about the fun and the football and the fans and the chaos, and I bloody loved it. Bloody loved it. I am gonna miss him hugely. Now, this is the part now where I'm going to talk about something that perhaps other ones have not done, which is what next for Jurgen. He's spoken about taking a break from the game, and that could be interesting. But honestly, I wouldn't mind it if he broke that promise of taking a break, because if I was Jurgen Klopp right now, I'd be looking over at the fact that Xavi has just announced that he's going to leave Barcelona at the end of the season. And I'd be seething. I'd be like, "Oh God, could you not wait like 3 more months, 6 more months? Give me a bit of a break." Because interestingly enough, the very first club that I thought Jurgen Klopp could manage was Barcelona. Think about it. He has suffered pain at the hands of Real Madrid in Champions League. He ain't a fan of them. I can't see him going back to Germany. He's been at 2 clubs and means that there's rivalries everywhere. He wouldn't go to Bayern Munich. He wouldn't go to Schalke. He wouldn't go to Frankfurt. But I couldn't see him going back to Dortmund. I don't know why. Homecoming maybe, but I don't see that. Maybe you go to Mainz, go back to where it all began. But Barcelona feels like a club in need of a Klopp. A club that is having to focus on spending as little money as possible because of the financial crisis that they find themselves in right now. They are selling TV rights for like 80 plus years just to get some funds. Jurgen Klopp loves a rebuild. Not only that, Barcelona would see what he has done. They've seen firsthand what he has done. They were on the wrong end of a Liverpool comeback at the hands of Jurgen Klopp. They know they've seen a club rise from the dead right in front of them. He would be that one, the one to go, do you know what? Almost, I appreciate your history. I appreciate your legends, but we need to build this again. We need to bring the youth back. We need to do this. We need to do that. I could see him rebuilding Barcelona. I'd love to see him rebuild Barcelona as well, because it's sad to see them fall. But if he doesn't go to club management, or he doesn't go to Germany, like the German national team, like people have said, or maybe the England national team, yeah, that's not going to happen. I could see him doing something else. I think I could see him being the politics of football. Think about it this way. Arsene Wenger, when he retired from Arsenal, he's now part of the FIFA stuff. I can see Jurgen Klopp doing that. Someone that was so irritated by the politics of football while he was a manager, I could see him going, do you know what? I need to make a change. And let's face it, who would be better to mention this sort of thing than Jurgen Klopp. We talk about. Let me just talk about the politics. And let me tell you why I feel that way. Does anyone remember some of the things that he's moaned about? Not the excuses. Some of the things he's moaned about. He was the first one to moan about the fact that the football players are playing too many games. Other managers and players are now doing it, but Jurgen Klopp was the first one to start talking about it properly and going, this is a problem, when everyone was classing him as a moaner, right? Secondly, he has been moaning about lunchtime matches because it messes up with diets and things like that. A couple of people are starting to agree with him, but again, he's being labelled as a moaner, but he's mentioning this, and I think he's actually onto something. But the third one that really tells me that he could be the politician of football, the one that makes a change, was how he dealt with the Super League. Does anyone remember that? About 4 years ago when the Super League first happened. I think it was on a Thursday night, or Thursday night, that the announcement was made about the Super League, about 12 clubs breaking away to make their own league, Liverpool being one of them. Liverpool were playing the next day, and Jurgen Klopp was going to have a press conference, an interview, asking what his feelings were. Was he going to side with the owners? Was he going to be the one to say, well, this is what the club are doing. I can't say anything. I can't do anything. He could have done. Could have been very easy to have done that, to have hidden behind. But he said no. He was the one that said, I don't like what my bosses are doing right now. And he empowered the players to say exactly the same thing. He was the one that started the downfall of this Super League. And so, actually, if there's anyone that I can see that can make a change, it'd be Jurgen Klopp. So have him deal with the politics. Maybe have him in UEFA. Maybe have him in FIFA. I don't know how. But he could be the one that drives the change. And let's face it, if we saw that Jurgen Klopp was going to be playing a part in the fixture, the fixture arranging and things like that, there'd be a celebration all around. I can guarantee that. Apart from maybe the pockets of those that own, but that's another matter altogether. So that's Jurgen Klopp. I now want to talk about Liverpool. Yeah, I told you this would be a bit of a chunky video. Where do Liverpool go next? Now, I've had a look at the front runners. Jose Mourinho, no, definitely not. A guy that has caused drama and chaos. A guy that's managed Man United. A guy that's managed Chelsea. A guy that has gone in meltdowns after suffering a 3-0 loss by another team. No, not going to have him. Thomas Frank, I like the way he goes. I wouldn't be disappointed if he got the Liverpool job. Roberto De Zerbi, again, similar sort of thing. Wouldn't be disappointed if he got the Liverpool job. Nagelsmann, we're getting closer. Xabi Alonso, in my top 2. But my top pick for Liverpool manager is not either of those. Not any of those. Like I said, I wouldn't be disappointed if Xabi Alonso, Julian Nagelsmann, and Thomas Frank in particular got the Liverpool job. I'd be happy and I'd support it. But there's someone else I'd love to see get the Liverpool job. And actually, after watching a video today, I'm even more like, yes. And rather than giving you the answer straight away, I'm going to give you the reasons for my answer first. People have been comparing Jurgen Klopp to Bill Shankly, the legendary, iconic Liverpool manager from the 60s, I think I want to say. Does anyone remember what happened after Shankly left? Who took the reins? Bob Paisley, Joe Fagan. The people that were in the boot room, basically the assistant managers, the ones that actually didn't want to be the manager of Liverpool, but they were almost coached into being that. See where I'm going here? The person that I would love to see take over the reins from Jurgen Klopp is Pep Linders, the assistant manager of Liverpool. Now, he's saying he's leaving to focus on management. Well, bring him back. Bring him back as manager. Why? Because there'd be little change. He was doing press conferences like he was a manager. He was talking about players if he was a manager. The people were looking up to him as if he was a manager. He is the perfect guy to keep a little bit going. And if it doesn't work out, then Xabi Alonso, I don't know. But actually, that is a great way to ensure the players, Jurgen Klopp's going, but we're not changing. We're staying the same. We're staying strong. We're staying fighting. We're staying like this. What a great way to convince the players that they can stay. The good times are here to stay. Be very special. Very, very special. In summary, I just want to say one thing, though, and that is thank you to Jurgen. Not just for the titles, not just for the trophies, not just for the fun that we've had in winning a Premier League and a Champions League and an FA Cup and a League Cup, and a European Super Cup and the Club World Cup. Not just for that, but for bringing back the soul of Liverpool. People used to talk to me about Liverpool being a great club, and I started supporting them when they weren't a great club. And now I get it. The chaos, the fun, the excitement, the probably constant mini heart attacks I was having while watching the matches. It's all part of the fun of being a sports fan sometimes. And that was brought back. So, Jurgen, thank you. Auf Wiedersehen. I've probably screwed up my German there. And adieu, my friend. Adieu, and modern day Shankly. Thank you.